discovering the most unique and exciting golf destinations in the world.
This is Golf Smarter.
Welcome to the Golf Smarter podcast, Mark.
Thank you, Fred.
It's great to have you on here. So Golf Smarter has been around as a podcast for just over a decade now. And I've been really lucky because we've taken a couple trips together with some listeners. Okay. We've been to Scottsdale. I'm wearing my shirt today from our Scottsdale trip in 2011, the week after the Phoenix Waste Management Phoenix Open. So all the grandstands were still up. We had a great time. But my favorite one to talk about is when we took our trip to Prague.
Okay.
We had listeners that came from Slovakia and Germany and the Czech Republic and Great Britain. And even some from the States as well. We had one gentleman who signed up to come from South Africa, but then when he told his wife, she went, "We have plans that weekend. We can't go." But I was really excited to see someone from South Africa. So I'm really curious about golf travel.
Sure.
I'm fascinated by it. Tell me about Perry Golf.
Perry Golf, Scottish company, founded in 1984 by two Scottish brothers, Colin Gordon Dalgleish, who were accomplished amateur players. They created the industry in a lot of ways. In 1980, prior to 1984, a lot of the travel to Scotland and Ireland was do-it-yourself. They started a tour operator, which meant soup-to-nuts service, arrangement of all the tee times, the local transportation, lodging arrangements, airfare, and what have you. And now there are umpteen number
they launched an
of
industry.
Operators now, 5 or 6 that are probably the key players over the years. And we've enjoyed the success as one of the probably top brands. It has expanded now. The industry and ourselves still are based in the business to Scotland and Ireland, groups of men. But now we offer 12 destinations. And we offer also probably the largest, most diverse selection of couples tours.
Wow.
So two ends of the equation there. The golf guys, has been our groups of 4, 8, and 12, and they play golf every day. And they primarily go to Scotland and Ireland. The couples, though, is worldwide. It's South Africa, New Zealand, Australia.
And these are golf trips.
These are golf trips, and they're different kinds of golf trips.
And we're talking about a couple versus multiple couples on a tour?
It can go either way,
okay.
Depending on the program, and we have several. The custom tours we offer can be 2 people, can be 20 people, and they are created based on personal preferences. We take the input. They tell us if they know where they want to play, where they want to stay, what they want to do. We make the arrangements. If they don't, then we'll put a program together for their approval. But when it comes to a couples trip, it's equal parts, by and large. It's not the golf thing every day. So in South Africa, for example, it's a safari for 3 or 4 days. It's a couple of days in the winelands, a couple of days sightseeing in Cape Town. New Zealand, it's, of course, all the natural beauty, wine again. Italy, it's the sights naturally, and it's the food. And really complementing that, and really what has brought us here to ING this week, has been our development of a portfolio of cruises. And that's kind of the magic word.
Really?
When it comes to couples travel.
Okay.
And it's good for men and women if both of them play, or even if one play. And the way it's turned out has been interesting, that about 80% of those bookings are men and women playing. But if the lady doesn't play, she's got a cruise to enjoy. So there's something in it for everybody. So that's kind of the niche we have now. We're one of the few providers of both the guys' trips and these couples trips. And we see it, and it's probably 6 or 8 years into the making. And we see this as a real growth opportunity because the ladies, by and large, over the years, really haven't been served by a trip they enjoy. I mean, they may know the Perry Golf name, for example, but if they do, it's probably because their husbands traveled or friends, and they know the story when they come back and they play in golf every day. And that's not her kind of trip. She wants some castles and she wants some gardens. And
well, when when we went on the Prague trip, my wife wasn't playing golf at the time. She doesn't play that much now, but still, she was not a golfer. So while we were playing golf, and we set the trip up so that if you could bring a spouse, or a partner that doesn't play golf, that we had activities for them as well.
Sure.
So we did spas, touring, shopping. I think those would probably be the three primary.
On any given day, right? Or it
On
could
any
shopping,
given day, right?
spa.
Yeah,
right.
spas, shopping, touring, museums. That's part of the touring thing.
Right.
But yeah, those kind of activities while we you
Right.
know, are gone for the afternoon to play golf.
Well, the beauty of it is now, in terms of worldwide golf, quality golf is everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere you want to go,
that's true.
there's a great
And
golf
expanding.
course. By and large, and you're right, it's where it's growing. Italy is a great example.
Really?
Fantastic. It's one of the most current examples of improving their golf product, primarily in Sicily. Tuscany's got it too, though. And so now, and the standards are high for these people. They're members of clubs, of nice clubs, and so their expectations are high for the quality of their golf and the quality of the whole experience, of course. But now they can be equally impressed on both sides, the golf and, of course, the destination. So it's a perfect storm of international golf travel for us, and we've seen impressive growth with this on the couples side. The golf guys, has always been going on, always will, and it'll always be the part of the business that drives the bus. But it's exciting to get out into some other places: Italy, New Zealand, Australia. In Australia, where Gordon Dalglish has just returned, his praise for Australia is impressive. He considers it one of the top 3 destinations in the world. And you can imagine that, back in the day, there was a lot of British influence.
Sure.
So you've got New South Wales, you've got Melbourne, Kingston Heath, and now they've built in Tasmania, Barnbougle, and now they've built on a remote island between Melbourne and Tasmania a club called Cape Wickham. And it's on King Island, I believe it is. And unbelievably, in my view, is that when it opened last year, Golf Digest already ranked it the 24th best club in the world.
Wow.
Golf Magazine hasn't even ranked it yet.
Huh.
So it's a spot. It's a bit of a hike, but golf as quality as anywhere you'll find it in the UK, and then very similar to a lot of the golf in the UK.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And Asia seems to be.
Asia's
We
fantastic.
just actually did a program, and I brought it up at the conversation yesterday about this course in Thailand, Nikanti, with the 3 6s.
Okay.
Versus,
I heard about it. Well, that's a great point. We will be operating our 3rd escorted tour to Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam in 2017, and we've sold that out every year.
Really?
And that's a great point. Even there, in fact, that's an unusual escorted tour, and what that means is it's a fixed departure, and it's a limited number of people, and it's primarily or really exclusively directed toward couples. And that's a case where if you're a twosome, you can join that group of 20 and 24 and enjoy the benefits of meeting new friends and the economies of scale for the cost. And we've done one now in Italy that's sold out for this year. We've got the Southeast Asia. We've got an Australian program about to launch. And so that kind of gives people that don't travel with a larger group the chance to meet new friends and see these phenomenal destinations. And it works that way with the cruises too. If you're a twosome, you just sign on for the cruise. And the cruise groups can be as big as 220 that we had with Azamara for the Open Championship at St. Andrews in 15. Our program this year to Troon has got about 110. The cruise for next year to Birkdale is just getting started.
Sure.
But that's all about cruises. It's all about couples. And that's kind of why we've come, is to kind of connect with some of the ladies of the golf ladies of the world.
So I'm not trying to nail down anything specific. If you can give me general broad numbers, what is the amount of time to book in advance for a trip? If you're going to be doing a good trip overseas.
Good point. Well, a lot of factors, or a variety of factors. Primarily, these trips are big trips for people's annual lifestyle. So in advance means you get a better chance for availability, so you can get the exact schedule you want. The other destinations I mentioned, they don't really have the kind of traffic at all that Scotland and Ireland do. So your booking window for that can be a little later. Scotland and Ireland, though, it's rule of thumb would be 6-8 months in advance.
At least, yeah, okay.
To make sure, and it depends on where you're going then. If you're going to St. Andrew, it's the earliest or you want to play Muirfield. Those are the toughest tickets in the country, so the earlier, always the better. And in the case of St. Andrews, we recommend that people kind of get their planning in advance of August every year when there's the direct application that the Links Trust puts on. Muirfield's an early ticket too. But for some of the cruises, one of the drivers on that is the availability of the suites. And our primary cruise partner is Azamara, and they have 44 suites, which come with butler service. And so if you want one of those, obviously the sooner the better. And the way it works out, it's kind of nice because the cancellation fee is like buttons. I mean, you can, within 12 months out, it's like $100. So there's no risk. And if you have to back out, it costs you $100. But you get the pick of the suites. So, but some of the other destinations, and for the escorted tours with a limited number of capacity, earlier the better, because they sell out pretty nicely.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Good.
So, website is
perrygolf.com.
perrygolf.com.
That's the
Very
one.
simple. Perry, perrygolf.com. So interesting. So great to talk to you. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Fred. Pleasure.
Click on the link below to subscribe to our free weekly interviews on the Golf Smarter podcast at golfsmarter.com.